guys, how are you doing? I've got the house to myself for a short time. So I thought I would do something I never do. And that is resin. I never really work with it. I mean, I do. I have. But it's not always been easy. But I really want to get back into making some components again, because basically most of the people I know on Instagram that are starting to follow me, who watch me here on YouTube, everybody that I know is basically a maker. Like, they are jewelry makers, they quilt, they sew garments, they do a lot of stuff, but they all like to do it themselves. So I thought I would start making cabochons again with resin, because cabs are fun. People can use them in all different ways. You don't have to be a beadworker. You can use them to wire wrap with. You can glue them onto a pendant blank and you're out the door. You can do all kinds of stuff with them. Glue them on paper even. So what I'm gonna do is, I have these shot glasses, baby shot glasses that are plastic. Now, normally I would have liked to get clear ones so that I could mix my resin, because you mix it in even parts, equal parts, right? But luckily these glasses have lots of ridges on them, see? So I can mix, you know, up to this line, or even lower, even if I need less, or up to here, or whatever, so I can get the parts even. Now, I've never used this brand, so I'm just gonna have a peek here. The brand I'm using is what they had at the hardware store locally. New Luster 55. The brand is called Circa 1850. It is epoxy, not polyester. Yeah. Okay, it's 50-50. Good. That's what I thought, since both bottles were the same size. And I've got some plastic coffee stirrers. So I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna think ahead. Part of the problem with resin for me is you actually have to kind of think ahead. And I don't always have the best of times doing that. Okay, so I've got an old plastic bag, Ziploc bag, a stir stick. Here's what I'm gonna be pouring into. It's just a palette thing that you can get for less than $1 more often than not in the craft section of any place. Everybody's got them. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be pouring into later. But first, this will be my hardener. I'm going to pour probably up to the first line. I am in a well-ventilated room, which is for the best, because this stuff is smelly. It's not too bad though. It's not as gross as I thought it might be. So that's the hardener. Another tip I learned to keep resin happy, the hardener is what is a pain in the patoot. The hardener does not like to be in the light very much. So don't pitch out your box. See, I've always been the kind, oh, I'll just throw the box away and put it in a drawer or whatever, but when your hardener gets yellow, it loses its effectiveness. Its shelf life is done. So you will have bad castings all over the place, and you'll be really mad. And you'll get kind of patchy curing. It's really annoying. So I'm just gonna... I would have ideally liked to have some wooden stirrers, but this will do. This will do. My husband was very nice, and he bought all of this for me. I told him what I wanted. I got the resin myself because I was at the hardware store, but the rest of it he got for me, so... And he came out of the box like that, ladies. Oh, of course, I'm gonna have cats that are like, meow, meow. They've been quiet all day. Okay, that looks like everything. So I'm gonna mix, 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 mix. This is gonna take a couple minutes to do. So I'm gonna keep my eye on the time. Simply, there we go, there's a clock. And I'm gonna mix it for a couple minutes. They usually say about 2 minutes. Do. But anyway, while we kind of wait, I thought I would chat about what can we do with our resin. And most people like to use mica powder that they can get, but I went online to buy some, and it turns out that mica powder is ultimately makeup. Usually when you search it, like on eBay, it'll say cosmetic grade mica powder. So I'm like, that's cool. I've got really nice quality eyeshadow here. And I don't wear makeup enough, so I figure why not mix some of this kind of mica into the resin. I bet you it'll work. So that's what I want to try doing. Because I've done other methods of coloring. I've done food color. I've tried paint. I've tried nail polish. None of those seem to work very well. The food color is water-based. This is obviously not. So it doesn't mix. It's literally like oil and water. It like the food color just makes these big lumps. Well, big holes really in the resin. And it just doesn't, I mean, it's okay as a novelty. It looks like it's underwater. It's kind of neat, but I'm probably the only one who thinks it's neat. So so I didn't make very many of those. I think I made 2, and I backed them with foil so that any risk of the food coloring leaking out would be sealed in. Let's see what else. Acrylic paint I've used, but again, it's water-based and it's a liquid, so that's problematic. It doesn't like to mix in, as you might imagine, and you get kind of irregular results, which can be okay if that's what you want, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I was like, I just want it to be a color. It doesn't need to be fancy pantsy. It doesn't need to be, you know, I know there's color shifting micas, and there's all kinds of different really cool glitters and things you can get, which are great, and I really appreciate those. I don't know. I don't want to go there with like investing all kinds of cash. If this resin turns out to be something I don't like or whatever, so I'm just trying to go with the minimum that I can, and I'm going to, this is not, it's getting better, it's getting better. What I might do then is, yeah, what I might do is take the other end of my, obviously not this end that's dirty, and put some copper from my eyebrow or eyeshadow palette. Just scrape some of the shadow in. It's a really nice color. There we go. Oops. There, let's see how that. So yeah, if you're trying to get into resin and see if you like it, instead of spending the money on those fancy mica powders, just go and get inexpensive makeup like CoverGirl or whatever at the store, and then you'll see if you like it, and then you might find that you really enjoy it. So I'm going to pour this into a third cup. It's looking better now. It's gonna get somewhat translucent color, but that's okay. The effect is better. So it looks opaque in the cup, but I don't know if it's actually gonna look opaque when I pour it. I guess that's part of the experiment. Oop. There, that'll do. So I'm just gonna let that sit for another minute or two, and then we'll move on to the pouring. And oh, so let me see, pour from the side. Okay, so there we have, how many? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cabochons. That's great. And this is more for peace of mind. I don't really see anything on the surface. I just want to be safe. Okay. Now I'm going to put them somewhere and cover them, and I'll come back to them when they are cured. It says it's supposed to be cured in like 4 hours or something, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to wait 24 and I will come back to them. There. See you later. Wow, before I put these away, I don't know if you can see this, but in the correct light, you can actually see popping on the surface. I've got some pretty bright lights on in here, so you should see that. It looks like a reflection. See that? Saw that in a video. There's the chemical process that's going on creates heat. See, it looks like bubbles bursting. That is so neat. I just thought I'd share that with you. Alright, now I'm going to leave these alone. I think I'm going to go get a lighter of some kind. Just a barbecue lighter. Does it have any fuel in it? It's empty.